Ah, money. Who doesn't like this meaningless green piece of rectangular paper? An IOU from society to do with whatever you please. And don't we just love to buy all kinds of crap? The kinds of crap that you don't need, doesn't make us happy, usually to impress someone we don't even like. Like a 4-bedroom house, even though you're still alone because of that weird personality quirk you're so insecure about. Or some nice toys that you don't get to use because you work 60 hours a week to make other people rich. Or what about a fast car to signal to any potential mates that you do in fact have money and most likely a small cock. But that's enough about me. If that's the kind of thing we use our money for, why do we even try? Well, we can also buy ourselves time. And money can last a long time if we use it wisely. We can buy marvelous time to have experiences we cannot have when we're cooped up in an office thinking of forgotten dreams and sadness. We can also use this money to leverage ourselves out of this stinking office into a better life, to maybe start our own business or work as a freelancer from the comfort of your van while you travel around Europe, which is what my much more achieved brother is doing right now. Well, okay then, that sounds pretty good. But in order for us to do that, we need to stop spending our money like we're Kanye fucking West. And instead of whining about inequality with a victim's mentality as if we don't have a lot of opportunity living in the West, maybe we should try and learn from how your average rich person got rich and to learn from the principles they used, because the truth is, a large percentage of millionaires are first generation rich. That sounds pretty logical, that sounds pretty good. Let's try that.
Hi and welcome to the Lifelong Learner channel. On this channel we talk about ideas and lessons that will be useful for the rest of our life, hopefully. I always try to base my videos on a book or a collection of books so that you don't have to read them and so that I'm not talking out of my butt. Today's video is based on Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Hey, and if you're interested in this kind of thing and you like my videos, then don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't like my videos, go ahead and dislike them. But please let me know why in the comments so I can have some feedback. Thank you, and let's begin.
Principle 1. The rich don't trade their time for money. I'm sure you've noticed that the wealthy people around you don't usually have normal jobs. Which is weird because ever since you were a child, you were probably being told that you should get an education and get a job so that you'll have a good and secure future. And while it's true that if you take this route, you'll have a good chance to get a secure job, it comes with a mediocre salary. A career path like this is almost never going to make you wealthy unless you have a very high earning job like a programmer or a doctor, or unless you save an abnormally large portion of your income. And let's see what happens when you get a full-time job. You'll likely work around 40 hours a week or more, and you get paid by the week or the month, of which you can just about support yourself financially and save very little. On top of that, you'll have very little free time, and the time that you do get off, you'll feel exhausted and overworked. And if you're anything like me, you're daydreaming all day at work how you can escape the 9-to-5 life. Now, this kind of work is exactly the kind of work that the rich don't do. In simpler words, they don't trade their time for money. They trade value for money. Additionally, rich people work and learn every day how to put money to work for them. Wealthy people usually have businesses or investments that they make their money with. The main difference is that they realize that their time is limited. Now don't get me wrong, a full-time job is likely necessary in the beginning of your career to learn and build up some capital to get out of this slow-moving misery. The problem, however, with trading your time for money is that it isn't scalable. If you want to become wealthy, then you need to realize that having a regular job is just a short-term solution to the long-term problem of wealth creation and financial freedom. After you've learned enough and you've built up some capital, you need to seek to trade value for money and make your money work for you. Principle 2. The rich understand assets versus liabilities. The second big thing that the wealthy and the soon-to-be wealthy understand is that there are different kinds of purchases. Some purchases make you money or help you make money, and these are called assets. And some purchases will cost you money down the road, or whatever you've purchased will depreciate in value, and these are called liabilities. An asset is something that has value, that produces income or appreciates, and has a market where the asset can easily be bought and sold. Conversely, liabilities take money out of your pocket because of the cost and the lack of income associated with them. Some obvious examples of assets are a property that you're renting out, a business or products that you sell, And don't forget investments such as stocks, mutual funds and treasury bills. On the liability side, we would find a car that you would use for personal use, vacations, clothes, eating out and Pornhub, Netflix. And I get it, we all think we deserve a nice car. And we deserve a vacation once in a while, but the truth is, they are liabilities and they will make you poor. Because every dollar you don't spend now is going to be worth so much more if you invest it wisely. Anyway, the real point of this principle is that you should concentrate your efforts on buying income-producing assets as much as possible. I'm not saying you don't deserve something nice sometimes. I bought a new guitar last month, but instead of buying that $1,000 Strat, I bought a $200 Squier Strat that I'll have 95% of the same fun with. Next time you buy something, try and ask, is this an asset or a liability? This will hopefully make you realize that when you make the decision to buy something, you also make the decision that being wealthy is less of a priority than the thing that you're buying. Principle 3. The secret of corporations. One of the richest dirty little secrets is the structure of a corporation. They can use tax code and use legal means to minimize their tax burden. Let me show you some examples of what I mean. This is how the tax process goes for the employee who works for an employer in New York. Let's say he has a pretty high earning job. He earns $100,000. Then he has to pay all kinds of taxes, which would be around $32,000 in New York. And then he gets to spend the remaining $68,000. Okay, now let me show you how the New York business owner gets to structure their taxes. Just for simplicity, let's say he also earns $100,000. Then he gets to spend $30,000, which means $70,000 is left, and he has to pay taxes over that $70,000, which would be around $20,000 in New York. The business owner gets to spend first and only after he has to pay income taxes. Notice that that's a $12,000 difference on equal pay. So that new laptop you want to buy, you kinda need for work, pay it before taxes. Oh, you need to talk to a business consultant on Hawaii? Pay the flight before taxes. Oh, you need some clothes to make sure you present yourself well in front of your clients? You guessed it, pay it before taxes. I know this seems like I'm joking, but I'm not. All of these things and more are tax deductible, even though they might as well be for personal use. And by the way, the business owner can use more little tricks like these, and it doesn't end there. For instance, the business owner can pay himself out a salary of let's say $40,000 and leave the remaining $30,000 in his business. This way he only pays income taxes over that $40,000 and he can use that remaining $30,000 for his business or for investments, for instance. Hopefully you can now see how attractive this makes it to start your own business. So if you're willing to take more risks, there's one great way of becoming more wealthy. Work towards saving enough money so you can stop working for someone else and become a business owner or a freelancer to spend a good portion of your purchases before taxes.
Alright guys, these were for me the 3 most important things from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I really hope you learned something. Please consider liking or disliking, that would really help me out just to get some honest feedback from you guys. This has been this week's Lifelong Learner, and until next time. Oh wait, gotta... Do the outro. We gotta do... Cut. Yeah, okay.